Well, all right, all right, all right. Happy Tuesday, everyone. This is Coach Lois with a bonus podcast episode. I am live streaming right now inside of my Facebook community at Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. And so if you're here and you want to say, hey, Lois, I'm here, tuning in live, hashtag live, feel free to do so and where you are tuning in from. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, and where you are tuning in from. I wasn't going to do this. This wasn't on my schedule, but I was so inspired by my course that I just completed, the beta test of the lead generation and sales mastery. And I heard a lot of feedback, right? And it was very fascinating for me to hear and witness some of the things that I heard. Some limiting beliefs, fears, different things, right? As well as the successes and the transformations. And this morning I was reflecting upon that and I went for a run and I listened to a podcast by the affiliate guy, Matt McWilliams, who, by the way, is going to be on my podcast sometime this spring. I'm super, super excited. And he actually had a title. I'm not going to duplicate his content, okay? But he inspired me to have a similar concept that I wanted to share today. Just really quick. I'm not going to take a lot of time. This is my monologue episodes are way shorter than my my episodes where I interview people. But today's episode I want to call the 3 reasons why you never get what you want. The 3 reasons why you never get what you want. And Matt, his title, it was something close to why you'll never get what you want. And I was really inspired by his thoughts. And as I was running, I just really reflected and my intuition was flowing and speaking and reflecting on my past 13 years. Some of you know my story. And for 13 years, I can honestly say I was living a lie and not getting what I really truly wanted. I was getting what other people wanted. I was making a lot of choices based on what I thought other people wanted for me. But at the end of the day, when I really reflected, I wasn't living the life that I truly wanted to live. And it's also was inspired me to start this podcast, right? Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. If you stay plugged in and you maybe haven't even been with me since the beginning, sometimes I share the depth of that title. Oftentimes I don't because there's just not enough time. But for the last 13 years, I was compromising my health. I was compromising my wealth, and I definitely wasn't wise. And here's the thing. I am not blaming myself right now or beating myself up. I had an awakening towards the middle to end of 2019. And it was really cool because it was when I moved to Southern California and I shifted my physical location, right? And I reconnected with a past mentor and coach that I had met 13 years ago, who had started planting seeds of greatness in me. But because I didn't believe in myself, and because of these 3 reasons why I didn't get what I wanted for the past 13 years, I thought maybe you guys needed to hear this message today. Just maybe there's someone out here that this is why I'm supposed to share it. Maybe why I was supposed to hear Matt's podcast this morning as I went for my run. But I'm going to quickly go over these and I want you to reflect on these this week and see if any of this resonates with you. Because I didn't really directly conversate about this in the course. It was hidden in all of my presentation, but I never just boom said, hey, these are the 3 reasons why I wasn't getting what I wanted. And maybe, just maybe, one of these resonates with you. Maybe all 3, maybe 2 out of the 3, right? So here are the reasons why I wasn't getting what I wanted and why I have seen in people's words and actions, even in just this past week, why people don't have their best health or they don't have the 5-figure or 6-figure monthly income that they want. Reason number one is not the fear of success or the fear of failure. And this is what I discovered. The opposite of success isn't failure. Reason number one is you are settling or tolerating for things that really don't serve you. You're settling for what you have right now, where you're at. Maybe you're settling with the number of customers you have. Maybe you're settling with the income you have or don't have. Maybe you're another word would be tolerating, tolerance, settling. I like settling better personally. Settling for mediocrity, complacency, because it's easier to stay complacent than it is to change, right? I realized it was the physical move, taking my family across the country and coming to a whole new space, seeing things differently, hiring a coach who I had met 13 years before, who said, Lois, you can do this. You can be a speaker. You can be a coach. You can be an author. You can be all you want to be. But I settled. And along that way, it got worse and worse and worse over time. It's kind of like marriage. My husband and I just attended this amazing retreat with our subconscious mind coach. I think I've shared with you guys, I have 3 coaches, right? I can't just have one. Hey, Michael Jordan didn't have one coach, and look what he was able to accomplish in his life, right? And really constantly just working on myself so I don't get complacent. Because here is the price of complacency for me, okay? I sold other people's stuff, helped other companies make a lot of money, but it wasn't really my message. It wasn't really my why. It was someone else's. I was so underneath it all unhappy. I started, especially after my dad died, I started binge drinking. Some of you know that. I have no shame, nothing to hide, right? I'm not that salesperson that keeps the mask on. And this was just over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And slowly over time, I started gaining weight, right? People thought I was even pregnant. I was like, oh my God, this is not good. But guess what? The pain of change was too much for me because I had tolerated, settled, was complacent for far too long. My income, I was always saying, I'm going to hit this income goal. And guess what? I never did. Over the course of that time, I did okay, 4 figures a month, pretty decent. But it was also met with peaks and valleys, right? And the cost of that, there was times when my husband wasn't working and it fell on me. I had overhead for a while with an office space that really, I was also settling for that. It wasn't really my ideal. For 13 years, guys. So what are you settling, accepting? Is it your email list? You're like, it's big enough. Is it your social media presence? It's good enough. Is it your program pricing? I don't want to raise my prices because it's good enough. Really tune in with that. Really ask yourself, am I enough, right? That counter of that effect. I didn't believe I was enough. So therefore, I went out and essentially lived someone else's life, not my own. So it's kind of heavy on a Tuesday morning, but It's real. I want to be nothing but real with you guys. Take the mask off, take the gloves off, not beating myself up anymore, not afraid of what you think or might not think of me, right? I think that's what 2020 did for a lot of us. It helped us wake up to what we really, really want. And then yet, how do we get it? How do we go after it? Number one is don't settle anymore. The opposite, right? Number two, this goes along with number one. They all build on each other. Is those subconscious beliefs that you don't even know that are holding you back. You know, I hired a coach that helped me see number one and wake up to number one, that I was settling, living a lie, not being my true authentic self. Okay, got that. Check. Number two, I finally found a really amazing subconscious mind coach, my second coach that I hired at the end of 2019, thankfully, started busting up those beliefs that I didn't know were there. Like I had a belief that I couldn't make more money than my husband. Ding, 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 ding. Well, no wonder I was holding my cap, whether it was a glass ceiling or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is it wasn't conscious. I didn't realize it. You know, that's where a lot of times we hold on to the weight. You know, I am working on releasing now that I know that I'm enough, now that I'm moving forward in my journey. I'm not perfect. You know, believing that I'm enough at a subconscious level, not just saying it. You can say all the affirmations you want. You can read all the personal development books, go to all the Tony Robbins seminars, right? Been there, done that. Bought the t-shirt. I don't even listen to Tony Robbins anymore. I think he's great. Don't get me wrong. But I'm working with people who are helping me legitimately one-on-one and in small group break up the stuff that was holding me back that I wasn't conscious of. Figuring out how to understand that, but then take action on it. For it's in the action that changes our cells, our molecular structure. Once we're able to really, you know, they say awareness is the first step, right? But I guess it's not even so much that, is it's being honest with yourself and learning from those who can help you break up those things and move past, and not then likely not settle anymore. You know, one of the things that I'm doing as a result of number one and two being something I've really, really been working on really for the last 12 months is I'm raising my prices next week. My coaching prices and my programs, with the exception of a couple. Next week, after March 1st, I'm quadrupling my prices for my 6 and 12-month mastermind. Are you charging enough? Are you charging what you are worth? Are you making enough calls? Are you asking for the sale? The other part of what my subconscious was holding me back on was I could work with anybody and everybody. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm just gonna save the world. I'm gonna help anyone and everyone. And that didn't help, because if you have just one wrong customer or client or even prospect, they can suck the life out of you. They could say things like, well, you're too expensive, or I don't like your course. You know, I had a couple people who said that this past week. Great. A year ago, I would have been like, oh my gosh, oh man, I am so stupid. Or, oh, I better go, you know, drown my sorrows in a bottle of wine. Now, after working on number one and number two, I'm like, sweet, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that I don't need to follow up with you. Right? If I didn't have that accountability from my coaches, helping hold that mirror in front of me also, I wouldn't have had the confidence or the wherewithal or even the awareness to raise my prices and believe that I was worth it, right? No one succeeds alone. Thanks. Yeah, no worries. I was appreciate you letting me know that the course was great. I'm hoping that you understand that I really want you to get this message about you and about all of your things that you're offering to the world, right? Number 3 goes along with number 1 and number 2. Again, I wanted to have 3 separate things for you to ponder, because those were the 3 things that I really took away from 2020, actually starting in 2019. Number 3, after knowing that I wasn't going to settle anymore and I was going to lead with my own mission, my own message, and my why for real this time, after I had the help from my second coach in busting out my subconscious beliefs, believing at the deepest level, not just here, but in every cell, molecularly, right? You've heard that study about the water and the molecules and having all the good and the positive, and then the water has a different structure than the water that had all the negative, and you don't even know it's happening, right? That's your subconscious, right? You're holding your back all different ways and you don't even know. So I got through that, still working through that. Number 3, once I realized I was enough, that I needed to charge more, that I didn't have to work with just anybody and everybody, right? I have my dream customer, my avatar, who's going to respect my time. Number 3 was setting boundaries, setting very clear, healthy, I am worthy of having boundaries. Are you setting boundaries? Are they clear? Are you working from morning until night? People think I work all the time. And I have to tell you, number 1, I have a great virtual assistant. I'm interviewing tomorrow my VA agency owner, Susie Bills, who's going to tell you how to get the busy word, the B word, the swear word that I call the 4-letter word busy out of your vocabulary, get you off the hamster wheel, outsource, delegate, find experts to help you. I didn't just put on that course last week and magically 260 people signed up, right? My coach helped me be accountable, helped me set healthy boundaries, actually told me, hey, Lois, remember the 80-20 rule? Get rid of the stuff that doesn't serve you. Don't have the meetings that don't serve you. Don't just have one-on-one coffee meetings with just anybody and everybody because you think that you need to, right? Who is worthy of your time? Do you have clear boundaries? Do you leave your phone on all night and people can text you or WhatsApp you and you check it incessantly every 2 hours, right? Those are the things that were my past. I'm not calling anybody out here. I'm not giving a tongue lashing. This is meant to be coming from a place of awareness, understanding, grace, love, and concern. Because remember, I had 13 years of that complacency, subconscious stuff that was holding me back, hamster wheel, no healthy boundaries for quite some time. Not all 13 years were like that, but over half. And here's the deal. I don't believe in regrets. I took the boxing gloves off and I put one foot in front of the other and I learn from everything as I keep moving forward. And now, do I get every single thing I want? No, that's not human. That's not spiritual, right? But the health and wealth and wisdom components that I was talking about, that I named this podcast so I could speak that into my life and breathe that into yours. Yes, 110%. And it's always still a work in progress, right? However, I'm very clear every day when I reflect, when I write down my schedule and what I'm going to accomplish. And at the end of the day, before I put my head on the pillow, I ask myself those questions. That's the most important thing for me to share with you today, is can you put your head on the pillow at night and make sure you didn't settle that day that you made a conscious effort to work on your subconscious and really become aware of, why am I not getting what I want? Why am I holding myself back? What is this about? Maybe asking for support and accountability like I did. And then, of course, reconnecting with your boundaries, because your time matters. You matter. Not everyone has to have access to you all the time, right? So I hope this was helpful today. Please, if you found value and you're watching this inside of my Facebook community, please hit the share button, because this is really, really, really important to me. Even if you don't hire me as a coach, even if you're like, gosh, I'm thinking about taking your course, Lois, and the price is quadruple next week. So, it's not about that. I'm just giving you examples of the steps that I'm taking to help enough other people get what I want, so then I get everything I want in this lifetime. Because you only get one in this lifetime. You only get one dash in this body, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? The dash between the years on your tombstone. You only get one funeral, usually, right? What are they going to say at your funeral, right? That hit me hard last year. Attending multiple funerals of people that I didn't think were going to, pass, right? It's time to reflect. It's time to become aware and really ask yourself, am I getting what I want? Or am I settling? All right, guys, until next time, here's to your best health, your best wealth, your best wisdom. We'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday, for my next episode. I have a bonus episode with Susie Bills at 9 a.m. Pacific. And then on Friday, I have my podcast, Audio Tech Guru. If you ever thought about having a podcast and didn't know where to begin, Eric is amazing. He's been with me since the beginning and is got some free gifts for you guys and an amazing, huge, huge offer that you're going to want to take a part of. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.